Okay, so you do the
Okay.
potatoes first?
Actually, I did the eggs first.
Okay, and how many eggs did you?
I did a dozen eggs.
Dozen eggs, okay.
Then I hard boiled them. I did them this morning, and I'll show you what I do. I cut them up. I cut them up.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
kind of
so
small,
they're
yeah?
pretty small.
Okay.
Okay, and then I put this, keep this in here till I'm ready to do it. And I also I cut up the pickles, and you need 3 large dill pickles.
Okay,
So I cut those up pretty small too.
Okay,
So
good.
those are ready. So actually, these can sit out actually.
Huh.
And there's the recipe if you
Okay.
want to take it.
Uh-huh.
And then
I'll get that back with, I'll get
okay,
that back to
yeah,
you.
okay. I
So
mean,
now
you
how-
can film it if you want. I don't care.
Okay, how many potatoes do you do now?
I do 10 potatoes, and you can see they're good sized potatoes.
Okay, now that's just raw potatoes, right?
Raw potatoes. You just cut them, and then you. I'll show you. You can do what you want to do, but it makes it easier when you cook them. Makes it faster if you cut them into smaller pieces, smaller chunks.
They cook up better,
They
right?
cook up faster,
Faster.
and
Okay.
faster. And so I make good sized chunks,
Okay.
not too big, but but if you do bigger ones, it takes a lot more time for them to cook.
Okay,
So, and I just do this and cut them, and then
now how many potatoes did you say?
10 potatoes and 12 eggs, a dozen eggs and 10 potatoes.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm gonna dump these in here, and then my bowl's getting big, so the rest of these here.
now how long will that take to cook the potatoes?
It probably won't take more than like maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, good.
So they cut up pretty. I mean, they cook
Cook
up
up
pretty
fast,
good.
yeah.
Because they are cut smaller, and they're easier to kind of when they're fully cooked, they're easier to kind of mash. You don't mash them, but you take a big spoon and you kind of press down on them.
Scrunch them a little bit?
Yeah, you scrunch them so they're not. You don't want it all mushy, but you want some chunks. But you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see what they. But
Okay.
you do. You just make them like that. Or
Okay.
that's what.
Cool.
I watched Mother do this, and that was. I only have a couple recipes from Mother.
Uh-huh.
This was this was one of her original recipes to me. So I've although I wrote that over, but I have one that she wrote. And of
Okay.
course that's been a long time ago, but
Well, I'll take this, Janie, and then I'll scan it and make
Okay.
a copy of it, and I'll get
Yeah.
this back to you.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then if you like after you cut after you peel them, if you see any little dark spots or something, you just cut
Take
those
those
off.
out, okay.
Yeah, but I mean I didn't see too many, but you sometimes when you get ready to do it this way, this knife is not that sharp.
And what kind of potatoes are they?
These are Idaho potatoes.
Idaho potatoes.
Yeah, and I
okay.
just bought a 5-pound bag of Idaho potatoes, and I have 2 potatoes left. So it uses almost a 5-pound bag of
Okay.
potatoes. I mean, for this recipe.
Mhm.
So, and let's see, I just cut those. I got just a couple more potatoes in here to cut up,
Okay.
and then we will cook them. And I think I have one. Oh, I have 2 more. Okay.
That's okay. You just
But-
take your time.
okay.
There's no hurry.
Okay.
I got time. So
Okay. Mother would be, she would be happy. She would be happy that you want to learn how to do this, or you and
well,
Linda
it's
want
so
to work.
good.
Yeah.
Your potato
Well-
salad so good that
Well, I know it is, and that's one thing I missed from her so much, but I was glad that I had her recipe.
yeah.
So her recipe's written down, and she wrote it in her own writing. But she, it's a little shriveled up sheet now.
Yeah.
Through the years, it's gotten kind of.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you see any little brown spots, you just you check it out after you've rinsed them off. I actually, after I peeled them, I rinse them, and then I
Cut them up.
cut them. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's not hard. It's not hard. It's just a little time consuming, because you do have to you have to hard boil the eggs and
The prep
peel
work.
them and,
Yeah.
take the shells off and then cut them up, and then the pickles. And of course, Mother did fresh, and I just bought these this morning. green peppers, celery, and onions.
That's probably what I'll do, is just buy the
It's much
ingredients
easier.
like that.
Yeah, it's much easier.
Right.
And just check the date on the bottom.
Okay.
So the date's good on them.
So it's green
so-
peppers, celery, and onions.
onions. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that saves you a lot of time.
Now, do you use all of those?
I do. I don't use all the onions. I use probably at least half of the onions.
Okay.
But it calls for a small onion. So I figure there's more than a small onion in there. So,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do use pretty much all of the celery and the green peppers.
Okay.
So now what I do is I go and just rinse these real good and rinse them. Because, after you do that, then there's always, I like to have them, there's always a little bit of the potato residue in there, so I like to get it out if I can. It doesn't matter, but I mean, I do, and I think most people would just drain it a little bit, and then you want to cover them, cover the potatoes
With water?
with water.
Okay.
So we'll cover it, and I might want to rinse this side a little bit more. Okay. Watch you don't dump them all in the sink. That's never happened, but I've dumped a few in the sink before, so
I could see it might be easy to do.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
your hand's only
yeah.
so big, and some of them might
Yeah, yeah. If you
flip out. Yeah.
so okay, so we've got about it's covered.
Okay.
So and then I just put them. I put some salt in with them. So I have salt in the. I'm gonna get my other salt shaker. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not a shaker. It's a box of salt, and I just kind of. I don't measure it.
Okay.
Wherever it's at. Here it is. Okay. I don't measure it. I just kind of. I'll show you. I probably could measure it, but I just kind of like that a little bit,
Okay.
and then I just like that. Then I usually cover it too.
Okay.
So I'll put it up there, and so it's a little bit of guesswork too. I mean, even though her recipe's there and I follow it, but sometimes when it comes to the taste, you have to take a little bit out and taste it and see what it needs. If it needs more sugar, if it needs more vinegar, you have to do that.
And when do you put the sugar and vinegar in?
Okay, that's when.
Am I getting ahead of? I don't want to get ahead of.
No, you're okay. You do that soon as the potatoes get done.
Okay.
And you kind of mash them up a little bit. You actually put the vinegar in the potatoes while they're hot, and you put the mayonnaise in there while it's hot.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little shocked at that, but that's what you do. So
Okay.
or that's what she told me, and that's what I've always done. So I am just gonna dump this out over here and rinse that off and get my lid, and then oops.
Just have to wait till it
Yeah,
cooks then, huh?
Yeah, we just have to wait till it cooks. So.
Okay.
And if you were cutting your own celery and your own green peppers and onions up, you would do that now.
Okay.
And I've done that many times. I mean, through the years, I've done my own, but it does take more time
Yeah.
when you do it,
Well,
But
this way works out just as good if they're already
it does.
they're already chopped
Yeah,
up and.
they're chopped up and you can just zip right through it,
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I got, she calls for two pimentos, but I sometimes just put one, because in the old days, they had smaller little
yeah.
jars.
And what are those?
Diced pimentos.
Okay.
And I'm not going to put two, but I'm just telling you, she did call for two.
Two, okay.
But that's because they used to be real small
Yeah,
little jars,
yeah.
a long time ago.
Okay.
So now I'm going to get the sugar out of my storage over here, and then I'll put, I better put the lid on first. And I think it's this one, but yeah, it's that one. I have two, and I'm never sure which one is which. Let me get the sugar,
Okay.
and then we can go ahead and dump in those things up there, and with the eggs.
Oh.
While
Okay.
that's, while that's
So it all
cooking.
kind of cooks together.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, this won't have to cook, But this will, when that gets done, we'll have all of our things ready to throw
Throw
in it.
in, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so we have to wait till that
Yeah, till that
comes
gets
to like
done.
a boil or something?
Yeah, when they get tender, by take a fork and touch a couple.
Okay.
And if it breaks off, then it's tender.
Tender.
It's ready to get them out.
Okay,
So let me get a big bowl.
okay.
Okay. And nobody has ever done this before, so I mean nobody's ever filmed me when I've made it, but this is
Well,
kind
it's
of
always,
neat.
it's always good to, I can go by this, but then I'm actually seeing what you're
Yeah,
doing.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
And that'll help me kind of,
Because I think somebody else, who was it, had tried to make it, and they made it by the way it was there,
Uh-huh.
but they said it didn't turn out as good
Yeah.
as, so.
yeah.
Okay, so this is it. So what we're gonna do, and I'll get the onions out. Not the onions, the eggs out.
Okay,
And we can actually I could have used it in here, but we can dump everything in here. We can
so
do-
now this recipe, that's a pretty big recipe.
It's from Grandma. It was from Grandma Harvey.
Oh, okay.
So Mother said she years ago she made it. Grandma made it, and she was up there, and she asked for the recipe. So
Yeah.
it's a family recipe.
Okay.
You don't find this just about anywhere.
I know.
I mean, some places come a little close, but it's not the same.
Well, there's a place down in Amish country called the Farmstead.
Uh-huh.
And it's
And they-
shredded
oh,
potato
it's-
salad. It's awful close to
Is
what
it?
you
Oh,
make.
I believe.
But
Yeah.
yours is better.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So
That's
we
good.
go to, we're going to take a trip down there this weekend. So
Are
we're
you
going to
really?
eat there.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay, so what we're going to do here, it calls for, well, we already got the eggs. So
Okay.
we got, we're going to put this over here. We're going to do one of these.
Okay.
I just, that's okay. They come up, and you just dump the juice in.
Okay.
You never get rid of the juice, even with the pickles. When I did the pickles,
Okay.
you don't get rid of the juice. Okay, so now, if I give Timmy some, I can't put
Onions in it, right.
So I'll save the onions till later.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the rest of everybody's,
Okay.
3 big pickles, so I did the pickles already. Diced them
Okay.
up, three good sized pickles, and you
Good.
put the juice in. So the pimentas in the pickles, just the juice goes with it.
Okay.
So I get these little, and sometimes the pickles, that's really good to have that pickle juice in there.
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, and then of course we got the eggs. I can put those in now. I could put the green peppers in.
Okay.
So we'll put the
You
green
use,
peppers.
there's celery, never mind.
Yeah, I use that celery. So, well, she said 1 whole green pepper. This might be a little more than 1 whole green pepper. It depends on the size of the pepper.
Okay.
But you know what? I just dump it in.
Okay.
Because, more veggies,
The
the
better.
better. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Okay. And the celery. And like I said, I always check the bottom. Giant Eagle always sells these over in their, it's in a stand,
Mm-hmm.
and I always check to make sure the date's good.
Okay.
Not that they don't, but once in a while.
Every now and then,
yeah.
something will slip
Yeah.
by. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm just stirring it up. I don't have to, but I'm just kind of stirring it up just so when we do mix everything together. All of this is going to go into that pot right
Okay,
there.
okay.
When those are cooked, and we drain the water off, and we mash it a little bit with a big spoon. If you have a wooden spoon, that's probably better.
Okay.
I did have one a long time ago, but I have to use this. I don't know. And then we'll dump all this in there after.
Okay.
We're going to put vinegar and mayonnaise. And she had a half cup of vinegar. That's normally good. It depends if you make a smaller recipe. Like sometimes I might have had like 8 potatoes and 10 eggs or something. And if I put a whole half a cup of vinegar, it won't, it's too much. It makes it a little mushy.
Okay.
Is that your phone?
That's, just a text. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but this one I think is going to be, it's going to need the half a cup of vinegar. So I'll
Okay.
get that ready too.
So that's where the taste comes in, right?
The vinegar and the sugar and the mayonnaise.
Okay.
So And then she said 3/4 cup of sugar, and I do 3/4 cup of sugar.
Okay.
So we're going to get that ready, because that way, you know, once the potatoes get done, and we dump this in, and you taste it, and you see what else is needed, because sometimes you do need a little bit more vinegar or sugar. We'll be done.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then the mayonnaise, she had 2 cups originally, but I only use a cup. So, and I don't know. I use real mayonnaise. So
Okay.
I know some places use what is that? It's similar, but it's not mayonnaise. It's something else.
Yeah.
But I always get the real stuff. So
Okay.
and so we'll get this ready, and then it'll be not too much. You know, not too much longer.
Okay.
The tasting part is the good part.
And
too.
that's a 3/4 a cup, or is that?
No, this is a whole cup
Whole
of
cup.
mayonnaise.
Okay.
And depending on, you know, depending on it, but it's usually good.
Okay.
So we'll put that right there. And it's not going to spoil or anything while it's here, because it's just
Right.
going to be a few minutes. So, and I'll put that over there, and that. So.
So it probably takes more time to peel the potatoes and
It does.
Do
And
the eggs.
Do the eggs. And then to cut up the pickles. And, you know, if you had to cut up all the other stuff, that
It'd
really
be
takes
even
time.
worse, yeah.
Yeah. And then she did say a tablespoon of salt. Now, I cook them with salt, but I have to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
So maybe I usually put about a teaspoon of salt, because I cook them. I don't know if she ever did cook them with salt in the water, but I do. I don't
Okay.
know. She probably did too. Thinking she probably did. So let me just put this. They're probably not quite ready yet, but I am just going to test them. No, they're pretty hard yet. So when you take a fork and try to get it, if the fork goes in real easy and they break apart,
Okay.
then you know they're ready.
Okay.
So it's still got a little bit more to go. Okay, they are ready. When I stick this in there, they're ready. Okay, so I'll turn off the heat, and here's what I do. Let me get me maybe this one. Okay, don't want to get scalded here. But I just, take this a little bit like that.
Okay, yeah, just be careful.
A
so you don't-
little edge, so the water, I can drain it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to drain it here. And again, you have to watch it. They don't
Don't pamper
fall
it out, huh?
Yeah. And then there will be a little excess water in here that don't come out, right away. So what I do is I put them back on the fire just for maybe 30 seconds, just so that we don't have that. See, they're good. See when you can touch them,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
they'll
cool.
go right through. That's good. So I just put the stove back on for a little bit. Well, come on, stove. Is it on? Not on. Oh, there it is. And you'll hear the water in maybe 30 seconds. But you don't have to do that.
You don't
but
have to
I
put
just-
the lid back on then?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want to burn them. I just want to get up that excess
Excess
water in
water,
there.
okay.
Yeah. And I think. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay. So now the magic begins.
Okay.
Okay, so you have those there. And let me just this over here. I used to have a bigger spoon. I have this big spoon, but it's
Probably not hard enough, or either.
yeah. So I'm just going to use the spoon and the fork.
Okay.
You can use either, whatever you want, but I'm just going to kind of do like this, and kind of a little bit mash as you go with the spoon.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't want them, you don't want it like all mashed or nothing, but just kind of break it up, and of course there's a lot of potatoes, so you kind of gotta make sure you get them.
Get them all kind of
Yeah,
scrunched
kind of.
up.
Yeah. So, and what's amazing to me is that you literally, while it's still hot, she put the mayonnaise in there and the vinegar. That's what to me, because I would have thought it's hot and you don't, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you don't mix. But that's the way she did
Yeah.
it. Okay, so, and you just pull them up from the bottom if you have big chunks.
Okay.
Like I said, you can, and if you want to do this, you want to do this or not? You want to get the feel of it, or?
No, that's okay.
can see. Okay.
I can see pretty good here.
Okay, all right, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now is the good part.
See, I take a tub of butter and put it right on there and then eat it.
Ooh, I know you would. Okay, so she always said half a cup of vinegar, so I got almost half a cup.
Okay.
We'll try it. We might have to add more vinegar. Okay, and we are going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit more salt.
Okay.
And maybe just I'm just going to do about a teaspoon. I don't even have to measure it, but I'm just going to put, because when you put the green peppers and stuff in it, so we'll put a little bit of, and that'll all get in there. You want a little bit of salt, but not much. Okay, we got that. Now we come here to the mayonnaise, and just mix it up. And you can mix it up when you put the vinegar in it too if you want. And this, but this gets it all here. So, okay. Okay, now we're going to put the sugar. Okay.
Looking good already, ain't it?
Yeah, it's cooking. I mean, it's cooked, but it's pretty soon you'll be taste testing it.
Okay. That's the part I like.
Yeah, me too. Okay, we'll just put a little bit more. Okay, and you'll do it the way you like it. I mean, you might want less of something or whatever. Okay, now we're going to add the eggs, and we'll mix that all up. Oh, this is fun. I feel like Julia Childs or whatever her name is.
Yeah, this is really going to help me.
Yeah. And you do it, just mix it up as good as you can. And because we're going to be adding more stuff to it. Everything goes in this one thing for now.
So does anybody else have the mother's recipe?
I gave it to everybody. Well, Bonnie won't use it because she don't like mayonnaise. She uses whatever that other stuff is. It's
like Miracle Whip?
Miracle Whip.
Okay.
But she don't, I don't know if she has the time because she works full time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I gave it to Becky too, and I gave it to Linda. Linda's, I think it's too much work.
Yeah.
But see, if you take your buy those little things, it helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot, yeah.
Okay, now here we go. We're putting all this in. And I don't usually put it all in at once. I just put, so you can get it mixed through there. And then I'll put more in it, but.
Sure does smell good.
Can you smell, you do think it smells good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it smells delicious.
Now we just go, it's gotta, then, and this is where your part comes in when you taste it. Then we gotta adjust it however you need. If you need more vinegar, more sugar, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just gonna put the rest of this in.
I'll let...
You'll let me know. We'll get you a little bowl.
You taste it and make it the way you do it, because I know it's going to be good.
Well, I'll taste it. We'll both taste it.
Because you haven't, everything given us has tasted really good.
Well, sometimes you get a little off. Sometimes you just, and you can't kind of figure out, okay, what is it missing? Is it missing this or missing that? But now to get this, sometimes what I do is I'll, to get it all mixed up good, I'll put it in the bowl again, and try to get the bottom part mixed into the top. So,
yeah.
Because sometimes you don't want to miss the...
What's that old saying I was thinking of yesterday is that you can give me a fish, or you can teach me how to fish.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
So I look at it as like you're teaching me how to fish here, and how to make it.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm glad. Because nobody's ever asked me that. All right, let's just put a little bit. I will put some in here because I want to get the bottom, make sure I have the bottom good.
Okay.
So it's just because sometimes in a big pot, you know, you don't want to
Right,
miss anything on the bottom. And sometimes you could very easily miss something on the bottom. Uh-oh. Well, I sometimes do that. And sometimes I just pick it up and eat it.
Eat it and get a little sample of it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Once I get it in this bowl, then we're going to taste it. And then if we have to do anything, we'll put it back in here. Oops,
Okay.
There's another one. Oh, well. Sorry.
I think you're doing that on purpose.
You never know. My
Yeah,
hand might
that's-
slip,
I
you know.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, see on the bottom, sometimes you don't always get everything mixed in real good.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we... And the thing is, the one time I made it, and it was real... I had too much vinegar in it, and the potatoes were like, you know... I had to cook some more potatoes and add them to it because I had put a little bit too much vinegar.
Okay.
Okay, what we're going to do now, Bill, is I'm going to taste it and you're going to taste it.
Okay.
Okay? You know what? We'll taste it from here. Let me rinse my hand off here.
Okay.
And then geez, according to the taste, you know, we'll be.
I could just take a spoon, Janie. Just give me a spoon.
We'll taste a little taste.
Just
Now I have a little bit.
just a spoon would be good.
You might as well use a spoon because it seems that way you can get everything in it, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Okay. I tell you, I mean, it won't be a big taste. It'll be, but
Just a little.
yeah. And this will tell us because you know.
Okay, that's good for me.
Here,
That's good
okay.
for me, Janie.
Okay. Well, here, you might as
All
well.
right, well then we're kind of done with it, right?
We're done.
Okay, then I'm going to shut it off.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Janie.
You're welcome.
Love ya.
Anytime.
Thanks.
Okay.